Welcome to Retire Smart Louisiana. My name is Cynthia DeFazio, joined today by Gary Powells, and we're talking all about the retirement storm is upon us. To our viewers at home, the retirement storm is upon us, and do you know where to go? Where do you seek shelter? Do you have a plan for your retirement? Well, I'm going to talk to Gary about how you get one today, and most importantly, stability in their retirement years. Everyone wants to feel stability and feel stable, so that's what today's show is all about. Gary, how are you today?
I'm doing great, and you, Cynthia?
I'm fantastic. I'm excited to see you. You look so nice.
Same
I love your
here.
yellow.
You
yes.
look great, too.
Oh, thank you.
I'm envy with the green.
Right. And you're so bright and happy with the yellow. It just always makes me smile. And I'm just so thankful for today because I know that we have a lot of information to obviously cover with the viewers of Retire Smart Louisiana. They're excited. They want to hear what you have to say because you like to talk about the importance of stability. So I should ask you, Gary, right off the bat, what are the stages to achieve wealth and what are the necessary steps to get there? What does that look like for most folks in our viewing area?
Well, it's pretty powerful when we put everything together. Stability is the first thing that we got to work with.
Okay.
And then, of course, you know, we have security and strategies. Those are all things that are part of the retirement plan.
Okay.
But we have to start off with a good foundation, okay? And to have a good foundation, that means we have to know everything about the individual first, okay? Whether or not they have a lot of debt, or if they have no debt, if they have a plan in place, how strong is the plan? How was it created? Is it really what they want? Because a lot of times people sit down with a financial planner and it's a cookie cutter plan, you know? It's really not catered to that individual. So that's what we try to do. We sit down with that individual and we find out where their weaknesses are and their strengths are. And that's the most important thing when you're putting a plan together for somebody. And look, I could tell you a little story about a foundation because, you know, everybody understands that the first thing you do when you're building a house is you start off with a good, strong foundation. And that comes with blueprints and plans and, you know, all the things that go, it's all engineered.
Yeah.
Well, it's the same thing with your retirement plan. It has to be engineered the proper way. And years ago in the state of Louisiana, they were building a welcome center going towards Morgan City, Louisiana. And all of that is nothing but swampland. So you can imagine it's hard to build a good foundation on swampland.
Absolutely.
So you have to put pilings in place before you pour a slab and all these kind of things. And it's got to be engineered properly. So this visitor center started getting built. And all of a sudden, they shut it completely down. The foundation started cracking because they used the wrong size pilings.
Wow.
So they spent millions of dollars on this facility, okay? And it all went to waste. And then they had to go back to the drawing board, re-engineer everything. And it's there today, and it exists today, and it's a great visitor center. But a lot of people will pass that thing every day and don't even realize the disruption that took place along the way. And that's what happens, folks, when you go into retirement. If you don't have the proper plan in place, you're going to have some kind of disruption. And those disruptions are going to have a cause and an effect.
Sure.
So bottom line is you have to be stable from the get-go.
Okay.
So what that encompasses, we gather all this information. We want to make sure there's not any debt, and if there is, we've got to come up with a way to fix it because debt creates another problem. You know, you're trying to put money aside along the way to create a stable environment for retirement, all right? But if you have all this debt that is basically baggage that you're dragging along with you along the way, you're going to retirement thinking that you're doing okay, you're still paying your bills and you're having a great time in life, but all of a sudden your paycheck shuts off and now you still have this debt.
Yes.
But now that debt comes out of the money that you put away during retirement or during your working years for retirement, should I say.
Okay. Okay.
So we have to have a plan in place that slowly removes that debt.
Okay.
To get to the point where we can go through retirement without any worries, not just to retirement.
Okay.
You know? That's extremely important. You know, a lot of individuals feel like, okay, you know, I've been with this financial planner for 25 years and he's done a great job. And that's fantastic, folks. You know, and I tell people all the time, if you come see us, we're going to look at your plan, and if you got something great and you guys doing a good job, we're gonna let them know that they're doing a good job, and that's the way we work. So it's just like anything else.
Yes.
When you went and you decided that you were going to be Miss America, or at least try out for it, okay?
Yes.
I'm sure you had a plan. And the plan probably had some struggles along the way to get you there.
Sure.
But the idea that you moved forward with it was strategic, okay? And there were certain steps that you had to take place to get to a certain point in your life to be able even to run for Miss America.
True. That's very true. That's very true.
And it's the same thing with anything we do in life.
Yes.
You have to start off with a good foundation.
Absolutely.
And if you don't have a foundation, and when I say foundation, a plan.
Okay.
Because I always say plan, do, evaluate, and act.
Yes.
You plan on something, you act on it, and then if something goes wrong, you evaluate that, and you fix the problem.
Yes.
And you move forward.
Yes.
And it's the same thing with everything we do in life.
It's so true.
Yeah.
It's so true. Having a good foundation, that solid plan. So, Gary, when you're meeting with someone for the first time, are you looking at their different income sources to build that foundation? Okay.
Yeah. The one thing that everybody has to understand is when the paycheck goes away, you have to replace that paycheck with some kind of income.
Yes.
Whether it's Social Security benefits, whether it's your pension plan, whether it's a guaranteed income of some type. It could be annuities. It could be anything. But you have to have a plan. And all those things have, should I say, their own strengths and their own weaknesses.
Yeah.
Okay? So when we diversify and you have all those types of income streams, if one starts to fail, the other one picks up for it. Now, here's where the problems come in. We all think we're going to live forever, folks. We're going to leave this earth one day. And the sad part about it is, usually if you're sitting there with your spouse and you're listening to the show right now, you understand that the two of you are sitting side by side right now, but one day somebody's going to be gone. And when that individual leaves this earth, they also leave with the paycheck. Okay?
That's true.
So one of those paychecks are going to go away, so we have to replace it with something else. So that's where the foundation starts off. It's not about how much money you have, it's how you spend it.
Yes.
Okay?
Yes.
So we do everything. We go over, okay, what happens when you get to the point that you live too long and you outlive your money? That becomes a serious problem. The other thing is you may live long enough that you might have to go into a nursing home.
True.
So do you have nursing care benefits to take care of those issues? Because, look, we're dealing with it right now with my mother-in-law. She's been with us for 9 years.
Yes.
And we love her. And we would love to see her stay there longer, but it's getting to the point now where it's getting harder and harder to manage her because it takes a big part of our lives to keep her going every day, taking her to the doctors, feeding her, all these things. And it's overwhelming. So people tell me all the time, oh, we're not going to let our mom and dad go in a nursing home. That's never going to happen. Folks, I'm telling you right now, it does happen. Yeah. It happens to the best of us, and it happens to the worst of us. So you have to have a plan in place. And look, even if you're late at this, you need to at least talk to somebody and find out, how do I go about at least looking at what I can do for long-term care and these kind of things. It's really a big chunk of your retirement.
Absolutely.
And most people don't even take it into consideration. All they worried about is, I got this big pocket of money and now I'm ready to retire and spend it. And it doesn't work that way.
No, most definitely. You need a plan, Gary.
Oh, absolutely.
And on that note, you have a very special message to our viewers at home. Talk about what that is, please, before we take our first commercial break.
Yes. If y'all call in to 888-568-1755, we'll be glad to help you out with all of this. We can build a foundation for you. Now, keep in mind, folks, if you already have a planner, it's always good to get a second opinion. You cannot get a second opinion from the person who gave you the first opinion.
That's very true. It has to be a fresh set of eyes.
Absolutely.
Gary, thank you so much. To our viewers at home, the number to call is 888-568-1755. Again, that's 888-568-1755. Gary wants you to have peace of mind in your retirement years because we know the retirement storm is upon us. What are you going to do? Where do you take shelter? Well, it starts with this, a plan. You must have a plan. Please call 888-568-1755. Or if you're unsure that you're even ready to retire, there's a very simple website that you can go to. Let's talk about that, rsretirementquiz.com. Once again, rsretirementquiz.com. You'll go to that website, put in a little bit of information about yourself, answer a few questions, and you'll know if you're really able to retire. Once again, rsretirementquiz.com. We're going to take a very short commercial break here on Retire Smart Louisiana. Don't go anywhere. I have so much more with Gary Powells about how to have stability in your retirement. Stay tuned.
As a good saver, you've been putting away money during your working years. Studies find that the biggest fear of retirees is running out of money. Market volatility isn't just the downward movement of stock prices, it's the size and frequency of change. The more dramatic the ups and downs, the higher the volatility. This can put savers who are newly retired or a few years away from being retired at greater risk. Today's generation of retirees is not receiving traditional pensions as our parents or grandparents did. Instead, we have retirement accounts such as 401ks or 403bs. These accounts typically expose your money to market risk. The last thing you want right before retirement is to lose a portion of the money you need for income. But how do you turn these accounts into a retirement income? Is it safe to keep all your retirement money sitting in the stock market? The last thing you want is to lose a portion of the money you need for income due to market loss. By working with a financial professional, you can learn how to turn a portion of your savings into an income stream for life and income for the life of your spouse if you're married. We all have moments in our lives when we wish we had taken action sooner. Don't let procrastination reign on your retirement parade. Act now before it's too late. Please call our office to set up your no-cost, no-obligation retirement income review today.
Welcome back to Retire Smart Louisiana. My name is Cynthia DeFazio, joined today by Gary Powells of Retire Smart Louisiana, and we're talking all about the importance of understanding that the retirement storm is upon us. Where do you go for shelter? How do you take cover when that storm hits? Gary wants you to be prepared, and that's what we're talking about today. So, Gary, I love today's show, obviously talking about stability being so important, but I want to ask you the next stage in generating wealth. What would that be?
It's going to be strategy.
Strategy, okay.
Okay, so we've got the foundation completed. We know where we at. We know where we stand. I've gathered all the information, and I feel comfortable moving forward at this point. And so does the client.
Okay.
So at that point, we look at different strategies. First off, as I said before, you need to look at replacing your original income where you're through your working years to having some type of income, whether it's your Social Security benefits, your pension plan, whether it's some kind of income stream from annuities. Maybe you have some drop money that you need to move and do something with from teachers' retirement. It could be anything. But bottom line is, when it comes to strategies, the strategies have to work for you, because not all strategies are going to fix everybody's problem.
That's true.
Some people love risk. And, you know, I tell people this all the time. If you like risk, that's perfectly fine. Mitigate that risk. Figure out how much risk you can afford to take. Because now that your paycheck is cut off, okay, you're living on a fixed income.
That's
okay?
true.
So bottom line is, at this point in your life, we start strategizing a little differently, you know? You know, when you're working and you're making good money and you can afford a little loss here and there by rolling the dice in the stock market. Now, I'm not saying the stock market is a bad thing, because you can definitely make money in the stock market, and we've seen that, okay? But you could also lose a lot of money in the stock market. Now, if we look back to 2008, when the market took a huge financial crash, it not only affected the market, it affected real estate.
Absolutely.
It affected the banking system.
Yes.
And a lot of people that had retired had to come out of retirement, which is not a good thing.
No.
So when we start strategizing, we look at all this. So we try to diversify and look at different types of income streams.
Okay.
It could be real estate that somebody hasn't. That's a good income stream.
Yep.
Okay?
Absolutely.
But here's the problem with real estate today, okay? We're all seeing it. I personally have real estate too. Insurance costs is going through the roof.
Absolutely.
So now it's shrinking the amount of money you're making, because, you know, you were kind of counting on, let's just say $1,500 a month. Now it's only $1,000 a month. That's a huge cut, because you're paying more in insurance. Well, you're having a hard time passing that on to the person who's living there, because they can't afford it. But they've been a good tenant for the last 10, 15 years. You're not kicking them out. So you're going to work around it. Okay?
Absolutely.
But that's a problem. So now where are you going to get the extra $500 from? Okay? So that's why when we sit down with our clients, we talk about all these things. All right? Is it a strong income stream? Is it guaranteed? Well, that's definitely not guaranteed. But there are some tools out there that we use that are guaranteed. So when we tell someone, okay, you could receive $40,000 a year, okay, guaranteed for the rest of your life, all right? And if you run out of that money, it doesn't matter. You're going to still get that $40,000 a year. Not for one life, but for two if you're married.
Wow.
So bottom line is there's some great tools out there that offset the risk of running out of money and living too long. That's where we're at in life.
Absolutely, it is.
We're a lot of people are living longer lives.
Yes.
We just heard somebody just passed away at 105 years old.
Yes.
So now picture that. If you don't have a plan in place, you don't have nursing care benefits.
Yeah.
Okay. You don't have a guaranteed income of any type, and all you have is Social Security, and your biggest wealth is your house. Well, guess what's going to happen?
Yeah.
You're going to go in that facility. You're going to spend down all your money. And then the government's going to go after the house after.
Yes.
Now, the person left behind gets to stay in the house until they're gone. But then the heirs get nothing. The government gets it all.
Yes.
All right? And I don't know about you folks, but that's not part of my plan, and I don't want it to be part of anybody's plan. So we work around that, you know, and we look at different areas because income streams are great, but they need to be protected. You have to have protection in place. It could be an irrevocable trust, or it could be as simple as, you know, a revocable trust that you're still controlling.
Yeah.
But bottom line, Cynthia, is that we have to have these strong plans in place.
Sure.
Today's world is different.
Absolutely it is.
We're not living the way we did 15, 20 years ago.
No.
I can remember when I was a kid, nobody had trust.
No, it's very, very true.
Everybody had wills.
Very,
and everybody
very true.
thought that that was a great thing.
Yeah. Well, even the face of retirement has changed so much, Gary. Obviously, people used to just be on pensions and Social Security, and that was enough.
Oh, my God,
But
yes.
then everything has changed now, the 401k, and it's just a totally different arena even for retirement planning.
Yeah, well, that's because the large corporations decided, why should we fund their retirement? We can force them to fund their own retirements.
Yes.
And that's when the 401ks came about.
Exactly.
So, yes, we have a lot of clients that have qualified income streams, non-qualified income streams, and tax-free income streams. So when you are diversified like that, when your R&Ds kick in, okay, required minimum distributions that you're forced to take, the government wants their fair share, okay? That's an income stream, but we know there's a problem with that income stream. It's not all yours.
Right.
Some of it belongs to Uncle Sam. So we have to adjust for that.
Yeah.
So that's where we use the RS tax calculator that you will have access to.
That's fantastic, actually.
Oh, absolutely. All these tools now that we have on board with Retire Smart Louisiana is going to help all my existing clients, but also all our new clients. And I'm excited because this is all brand new.
Exactly.
You know? And we worked pretty hard at getting this done. So we're in a different time and a different world. And now you need some additional tools to make the difference in your life and your retirement life.
That is very, very true. Gary, thank you. To the viewers at home, what Gary is talking about actually is the rstaxcalc.com. That's rstaxcalc.com. You'll visit that website, and what you'll find is that once you put in some personal information, you're going to ask yourself, like, what tax bracket am I in? What is my income right now? It'll show you what your current tax liabilities are today and then show you what it would be if you make changes. Now, this is completely complimentary. This is new to Retire Smart Louisiana, and we're so excited to have this software. Again, your website is rstaxcalc.com, rstaxcalc.com. Please visit that today and find out where you currently stand with your taxes. We think you'll be very pleased with the information that you find. Gary's here to help you make some changes. We are going to take a very short commercial break now, but the number to call in if you'd like to have your personal consultation with Gary, no cost, no obligation whatsoever. That number is 888-568-1755. 888-568-1755. You know the retirement storm is upon us. This show is built around making sure that you have the proper shelter. Take advantage of that today. It's completely complimentary. 888-568-1755. Don't go anywhere. I have so much more with Gary Powells when we return. Stay close. Retire Smart Louisiana. We'll be right back.
The work never seems to end until the day it finally does. After nearly a lifetime on the job, you should be rewarded for all the time you spent working. Whether that's crossing off items on your bucket list, learning a new passion, or rekindling the love of an old one. After all, life isn't over when you stop working. It's the start of an all-new chapter. The one where you're the writer and you get to choose how your story will go. A way to achieve that is by having a clear financial plan to sustain your golden years. The biggest fear most retirees have is if they'll have enough money to maintain the lifestyle they've always enjoyed. Having a plan to help protect you against the curveballs life often throws will help to maintain your lifestyle. Call today to get your free written financial plan so you may live every day to the fullest and enjoy the retirement of your dreams.
Welcome back to Retire Smart Louisiana. My name is Cynthia DeFazio, joined today by Gary Powells of Retire Smart Louisiana, and we're talking all about how you can have stability and security in your retirement, some important steps that Gary likes to take to make sure that you have peace of mind when that retirement storm hits. Gary, a wonderful show that we're having today, and I know that you take a lot of steps getting ready when you're talking to someone about retirement, how they can have peace of mind. How can all of these steps benefit your clients overall?
Well, tremendously, because bottom line is if they don't have a plan, we're gonna put this whole plan together for them. They don't really have to do a whole lot, but here's the thing. The plan is your plan, okay? I'm catering to you. It's not just, like I said before, a cookie cutter plan. So whatever their wishes are and their concerns are, we're gonna fix that. We're gonna make sure that we get them what they need, not what somebody else wants,
okay,
what they need. And here's the thing. A lot of times when we sit down with people, they don't feel secure in the plan they have because all they have is a bucket of money, all right? I'm gonna tell you a little story about someone. I had a client that came to me from somebody else. It was a referral, and this individual had no family, okay? So the individual, when I'm sitting there gathering all the information, I said, well, who has your power of attorney? You know, you're 70-something years old, and I'm talking with her, and she has a real concern about possibly having to go into a nursing home later on in life. Well, she had a big bucket of money. It was with her financial planner, and she loved her financial guy. And I said, look, I'm not here to take the money away from you, so don't go there, you know?
Right.
I'm here to try to open your eyes to something. I said, look, I have an issue, and my issue is you have no security. And when I say that is, okay, she had emergency funds, and she's got some security, all right? And she's got this big bucket of money, and she thought, I'm good, all right? But here's the problem. That big bucket of money can go at the wayside real quick, because without having anybody with power of attorney, the government's gonna step in, and they're gonna force those assets to be spent down first. She had no will, no trust, nothing. All right. So once I showed her, here's the problems we got with your plan. All right. I understand you guys great, but why didn't he tell you that you need a will, a trust? You need power of attorney with somebody. She's got an older sister. She's got her niece, you know, that lives miles and miles away, but no one has power of attorney. So once we talked with her and showed her, look, you have some real weaknesses here in your plan. You have no security, and we need to fix this issue. She allowed me to talk with her financial planner, and I opened his eyes and said, look, I got a real problem with the whole thing that she has set up. You're making money for her, but you're not fixing her retirement plan. There is no plan.
Wow.
So from that point on, we got her set up with a lawyer.
Okay.
And he put a plan together for her. And now that's all in place. I got her long-term care. So, and we got her a 3-to-1 policy. Basically, she puts up $1, you get $3 towards long-term care.
Wow.
So, and if she doesn't use it, it goes to the heirs in the form of a death benefit.
That's fantastic.
Not like the old long-term care policies. If you don't use it, you lose it. And the older you get, the more it costs you. So we got that all done for her. I didn't finish there. I said, okay, look, I need you to do one step for me. I need you to go to your doctor and tell him that you want to put people's names on the list to call in case I can't make a cognitive decision for myself. The first one is my niece with power of attorney. Second one is my broker, okay, who's holding the money. And third one is the person who put you into the long-term care. I said, you and your sister. Now your doctor has all that information because he's going to be the first point of contact.
Yeah.
As a fiduciary, he has a responsibility as a doctor to make sure he takes care of his client. She's now my client too. So that's part of the strategic planning and having security, okay, in place. I'm going to tell you, I see this all the time. People come to me and they have these plans, but there's always that one missing link that doesn't get them to the goalposts, okay? We all want to get to the goalposts, and we want to get there with no troubles.
Of course.
Stress-free retirement.
Yes.
Security, knowing that somebody else has our back when we can't do it for ourselves.
Yes.
That's so extremely important.
It is. Peace of mind. I mean, all of these strategies that you put in place, Gary, for your clients, they must be just so overwhelmed and so relieved when you present this plan to them. Tell me what that feels like for you.
Oh, it feels great. You know, a lot of people tell me sometimes I'm a little too serious. And I get that way. I get emotional because when I see these things, I put myself in their position and I think of them, well, this could be my family member.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know, going through this. So it really does make me feel good that I'm doing not only my work, but the Lord's work. You know, that's the way I feel.
Most definitely. Well, we only have about 40 seconds left of the show, but Gary, one final message you'd like to give our viewers at home before we say goodbye?
Yes, folks. Please call 888-568-1755 to get your complimentary review. And we have all the tools to help you. You can go to those sites, or you could just scan the QR codes, and you'll be on your way to a happy retirement.
Gary, thank you so much. To our viewers at home, thank you for spending time with us today on Retire Smart Louisiana with Gary Powells. That number to call, 888-568-1755, or click on the QR code at the bottom corner of your screen. Be safe, be happy, and be blessed. We'll see you next week. Who dat? Go Tigers. We'll see you soon.